This show is brought to you in association with HostGator, where web hosting is made easy and affordable. Check out our hosting plans over at hostgator.com. Hello and welcome to Gamers, Geeks and Media Freaks, the fortnightly show that brings you the latest news and reviews from the worlds of video games, movies, TV shows and technology. Welcome to episode 15. Okay, well, first bit of news really we need to talk about is the live episode that we're going to do at the end of this season. We have set a date for it. It is, sorry I'm just checking, November the 24th at 3 PM, that's the UK time, till 6. Basically we'll try and put a list of different times up, so we're obviously not all of our subscribers and watchers are from the UK. We have a lot of kind of people from the US that like to watch the show. So basically, we'll post a list of times, and I guess from there you'll have to work it out. I guess. I don't know. But so basically, we've got planned this 3-hour kind of live event, which we will be recording and putting out as our last episode of this season. But it's your opportunity for you to ask us questions. And it's our opportunity to talk about whatever the hell we like. So that's going to be interesting. Now, basically,
I don't think you thought that through.
No, probably not. I think we need a longer show than 3 hours. But basically, we kind of thought it'd be cool. There's loads of things that we wanted to talk about in the show, and there's just never time to fit them in, or there's always something more important to talk about. So it's kind of one of those things. We wanted to have this episode at the end where we could just discuss everything that we kind of want to talk about, and hopefully what you guys want to talk about, if you want to ask questions and stuff. It'll be a live stream. We're going to be using, I think, Ustream to do the live thing, so you can be able to go to, it should be a kind of on our page on forallnetworks.com. You should be able to go on there on the day or the day before. We'll set it up so that it's got a thing for the live stream, and you'll be able to log in and talk to us and stuff, hopefully fairly live. There'll be like a 30-second delay on things, but hopefully we'll get some people watching live and talking to us and stuff. That'd be cool. Obviously, still, again, no Michelle. She won't be here until, I have no idea. A couple more episodes, probably. Yeah, another 2 episodes. Coincidentally, our next episode is our Halloween special. We've got some very cool stuff planned. Some of which we've already shot for it, so we're kind of, being well prepared. So hopefully you guys are kind of tuning in for that one. It'd be great to just kind of get you guys' feedback on it as well when it's all done and put together and out in the wild. So good stuff planned for that. That's the next episode. That'll be episode 16, and that is actually going to go out a day early on Halloween, because this Halloween's a Thursday. The show would go up on the Friday, but we're going to release it a day early, so it's there for Halloween. And so we've got a pretty packed show today, so let's crack on with that. So for video games, James, in a bit you're going to talk about Beyond Two Souls.
Yes, we'll warn Michelle, who will be watching this episode, as it's kind of the game that we were supposed to review together.
Well, I've not even seen it yet. I've heard sort of good and bad things, but it'd be kind of cool to hear what you
say.
Point is,
she's not seen it yet either.
Okay.
So
so basically, so news-wise, before we get to that review, we're going to be talking a little bit about next gen's a big thing. We're going to talk about it a fair bit on the show. It's mentioned in the news quite a bit. We've got some news that Watch Dogs and Killzone, the new Killzone for PS4, they're going to be locked at 30 frames per second for their single-player campaigns, which I'm kind of, I don't know what to feel about this, because I think we were given the promise of next gen everything's going to be 60 frames and all that kind of stuff, and now we're like, the game is not even out yet, and we're already kind of getting this, this is going to be locked to 30. Rise Son of Rome's not really running at 1080p. These little things that are I know games aren't going to be fully optimized from day one, and we're going to have these little issues, but just this early on, it just seems a bit of a shame. So it kind of sucks, but really, as long as the games are good, that's really what it matters. As long as they look nice and they run at a solid 30 frames and don't drop any lower, and there's no real issues with the games, and the games are fun. That's what really matters, right?
Yeah, speed is nice, but I want them to look as good as they can. I want to be able to pause the game, take a still screenshot, and have it look the best it can be.
Yeah.
And that to me is kind of the most important thing.
Well, we'll obviously see what happens, because we're just over a month away from next gen, so it's going to be really interesting. We were kind of promised the 60 frames thing. I think most games will deliver that. But when you think about it, Killzone's kind of a really big epic game, and Watch Dogs is the same. It's kind of this open world game, so
Plus
it's
it's
kind
been
of
developed for multiple
true.
generations as
And
well
so
as
it's kind of
platforms.
not really surprising that it's, you know, I mean, the average game like a shooter or something, yeah, I can see 60 frames, or a racing game, but when there's massive environments and stuff, and yeah, I can see kind of why. And I don't think we're ready for 60 frames on those kind of games just yet, but maybe at the tail end of the gen, we'll see.
Interestingly enough, I think they said that the Killzone multiplayer might not be at 60 frames, and maybe when action's going on you may see a slight dip, but
Yeah, that's a shame.
it shouldn't be too noticeable.
Okay.
It's like the difference between 50 and 46 frames per second.
Okay. Oh, anyway, so GTA Online, we mentioned it last episode, and we kind of had a little gripes about it because obviously it wasn't really ready to be put out to people. Obviously, a lot of the issues have been fixed over the last few weeks since we last, you know.
There was a big issue with people getting their characters deleted.
Yeah, well, that was a slight issue for me at one point. I managed to actually get in, do the tutorial, and play a fair bit. I'm kind of having fun with it. But the big news here is that because of these issues, Rockstar have now said that they're giving kind of players who had these issues money, in-game money. Obviously not real money, that'd be fucking sweet. In-game money, I forget how much it was now.
500,000, so $500,000. You won't be getting it all at once. You'll be getting it in 2 instalments of 250, and it'll go straight into your bank account.
Sweet. I'm happy with
Otherwise,
so basically basically everybody gets this.
Yeah, anybody who's played the game since online was launched will be getting this.
Sweet. So that's good news for anyone who's feeling a bit butthurt by the kind of issues that they've been having. I kind of presumed that with the scope of this kind of online world that they were kind of trying to go for their would-be's, these kind of little issues. I didn't realise how bad it was going to be, but, you know. I didn't realise I wouldn't actually be able to get to fucking play it. That was kind of a problem. But, you know, I've since played, there's been a couple of title updates for it, played some, it's been fun. And, you know, obviously it's got a long way to go to this at the kind of stage where we envision it and when they envision it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, cheers for the $500,000, guys. So, the review, let's crack on with that. I've not played Beyond Two Souls, but you're going to talk about it.
This is the game. Me and Michelle are really excited about it. Obviously, she hasn't had a chance to play it.
Yep, she's not been here.
Not being here. But she said I was allowed to play it and review it for the show, so that's what I'm going to do. So, Michelle, if you're watching, stop now. Beyond Two Souls, it's the follow-up to Heavy Rain by Quantic Dream, and if anybody who's played that will kind of get the gist of
I haven't played that.
No.
So that's a real problem.
But
sorry.
It's really sort of polarising for a lot of people, because some people say, oh, it's more of an interactive movie than a game, and some people kind of like that, and some people hate it.
Oh, it's cool.
And
that's cool idea.
Kind of like, oh, it's all just QTE and all that, and kind of, yeah, but not. I'm just going to come out and say I think it's awesome.
Cool.
It's really, really good. Stars Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe.
The actual Ellen Page.
The actual Ellen Page.
Just a likeness.
No, it's good. She acts it, she voices it. Her face is on the character.
Oh, cool.
Same with Willem. And how many games can you say that?
That is pretty fucking cool. Yeah, that's pretty badass.
Instantly, it's got the kind of like that movie thing because it is these characters. These characters.
Yeah, I like that. I you know, not every game has to be I controlled everything. You know, like it's kind of nice to just.
In this game, you can kind of.
Well, all right. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I think mine kind of. It's a different experience, and if you don't like it, well, you know, there's the fucking hundreds of other games out there you can play, I guess. So. Yeah. Wow. Go on, sorry.
Not like this. I think the only game I can compare it to is Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of all it is. But you know, it's so hard to explain what it is. It's all about the story.
Yeah, very story.
It's all cinematic. It basically tells the life of the character you play, whose name I remembered and then conveniently forgotten.
Okay. Right there.
That's her name. Yeah. But yeah, you kind of play out all through her life, and she's telling you her story, but it's kind of disjointed. It's not in chronological order.
Yeah.
The loading screens between like the levels or missions, whatever, is kind of like this long line, and as you go into certain points, certain events get marked up on this line. You kind of jump backwards and forwards.
Okay.
So you actually start right near the end, and you go right to near the beginning.
And you just kind of fill the gap.
Yeah, and fill the
gap.
That's
pretty cool.
And then it kind of does a couple before the beginning and.
Oh, okay. Wow.
All that. So, but as you unlock it and as you can replay the chapters, it kind of unlocks it all in chronological order, which I think is an interesting way of doing it because it unlocks new things and tells you what you can do, but it doesn't become static. It doesn't become just following this linear thing.
That's cool.
The amount of choice and that's available. I mean, you can. The outcome of what you do changes depending on how you play.
Yeah.
I'll go to the story. You play this character. Since she's been born, she's had this entity attached to her called Aiden. I can remember his name. So bad. I'm awful with names.
Okay, go on.
But he basically, they're tied together by some sort of spiritual cord, and she can't really tell him what to do. She can't really control him, but he can't leave. He's like a caged animal, she says, actually in the game. And she hates being attached to him, and he hates being attached to her, but they're kind of stuck together.
Yeah.
But she can use him and see what he sees and do stuff. One of the first missions in the game is you playing as her in a test facility as a very young girl.
Yeah.
And they lead you into a room, it's kind of mirrored off, and there's a woman in the other room. And they've got those cards, the psychic shape cards, and you have to kind of say, okay, what card has she picked? You can then swap over to Aiden, which most of the time you can swap over to Aiden whenever you want.
Okay, cool.
There's only certain things that you can't.
Yeah.
Go through the wall. Cool little animations of going through the wall and controlling it. He's a little bit strange to control, because when you play the girl, it's kind of standard third person affair, but when you're playing as Aiden, it's first person.
Okay.
There's like no clipping, you can go through walls and stuff. Obviously you can only go so far away, but he can move things and you can interact with things. There are lots of different ways of doing it. You control it all with the thumbsticks. Some people have said the controls are a bit janky and a bit hard, but I've not had much problem with it. You look around with the right stick, you move around with the left stick, you lock on the stuff with the L1 button, you move up and down vertically with the R buttons, but you can do that anyway. And you just do that, and basically beginning of the game you look at the cards, you go back to Ellen and pick the cards, and you do that, and it says okay, do some other stuff, and you can move stuff around the room, and the woman in there gets scared and says she wants to quit. Now at that point you're given the option to end the test, do that, and the game plays out. The game plays out no matter what, but how people react and how devastated they are changes, because you can carry on messing shit up.
That's pretty cool. It doesn't like it.
Yeah, and it strikes you as one thing, and then it becomes something else. I mean, there are times that I thought, okay, this is obviously it's a paranormal thing, and then it becomes like a spy thing, because through her life she joins the CIA and uses her talents. And there's this whole training section where you learn all about the combat and the action sequences in CIA training. And it goes back to her being a teenager at a party, being picked on by kids that she doesn't really know, and taking her.
So, like, how far would you say you are roughly into this game then?
I don't know. I played for a fair few hours. I'm quite a way into it. I've been all through it. It's actually quite scary in places, and that's when I turned it off because it was quite late. But no, it's one of those things. I think you should experience it. You should try it and see what you like. I mean, obviously, I don't want all games to be like this. I want some level of control, like you said. But this is nice. It's kind of different. It kind of is bringing movies and games together in a way. And I'm looking forward to what Quantic Dream do for the next gen.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, well, pretty much one more thing.
On a side note,
okay, here we go.
I will just mention also, there's another game we're playing. We're not going to review it or talk much about it now. Is the Wolf Among Us, which is the new series from Telltale, who did the Walking Dead game. I'm going to do a review when all the episodes are out there, but the first episode is now available on PC like Steam and Xbox Live, and I think it's coming to, by the time you watch this, it should be out on PlayStation Network, but it cost me £3.39 for the first episode, and you can get the following episodes in the season pass for a tenner. Cannot recommend the first episode enough. It was really, really good, so check that out.
Sweet. Okay, well, we'll be back in a second. We'll be talking about movies. In movies, we kind of mentioned last episode, as we were talking about Breaking Bad, about Aaron Paul starring in Need for Speed. It's kind of not really new news, but the trailer came out a few weeks ago, and we didn't really get the chance to talk about it on the show because we were so busy talking about Breaking Bad. Until now. When I first heard about it, because it was kind of announced a while back, and then he showed like a little behind the scenes thing off at the EA conference at E3 this year. We were just whatever, it's video games to movies. Let's not even get in. Yeah, exactly. Let's not even get into the fact that it's a video game to movie adaptation, and the fact that it basically seems just like another, like you say, Fast and Furious. We've got enough of those. There's a seventh one of that coming out, right? So basically, the trailer came out, and I was like, okay, we know where this is going, but let's watch it anyway. And I actually sat down to watch it, and imagine you just pure curiosity. We sat down and watched it, and actually, you know what? There's a little bit more going for it than I kind of first thought. I don't imagine this movie to be great, like groundbreaking, suspenseful, or any of that shit, but like...
There's a lot to be said for 3-star movies.
It actually... this will be on Netflix soon. It actually kind of like... it actually looked a little deeper than what we kind of imagined it would be, and it just kind of... Aaron Paul's an amazing actor, and I kind of like felt like, oh my god, your career's going to go down the shit pan now that you've left, like, Breaking Bad's done, and you're now doing this movie. It just seemed like a really fucking weird jump, but you know, yeah, I didn't kind of think this was going to be. And then I saw the trailer, and it's kind of like, well, this actually doesn't look as bad. I'm not saying it looks like the best film ever. I'm not saying it looked great. I'm just saying it doesn't look as bad. And we'll be playing a little bit of it behind us now. It looks more dramatic than I thought. There's actually looks like there's a story.
I don't like that they kind of tell you pretty much what the story is in the trailer.
I know, and yeah. So I mean, it's out there, and I obviously be interested to hear what people think about it. We may post the trailer on Facebook. I know it's kind of been out for a while, and most people have probably seen it already. But I changed my opinion slightly when I saw this trailer, and I'm kind of wondering if, maybe if I saw the movie, actually my whole opinion would change again, or what, I don't know. I mean, this isn't something I'm going to go rush to the cinema to see, but it's interesting. You know, you just take an idea, a concept, and you look at it and you think, ugh. And then when you actually see it, you know, my opinion changed slightly. I don't know about you.
Well,
I still think it's going to be shit, but, you know, not as shit as I expected it to be.
No, I think... we're at the stage now where there's no excuse for poor video game movies. Video games have moved to a stage now where they practically are movies.
Yeah. And we had that Need for Speed The Run a few years back. That was kind of a bit more cinematic as well. Yeah. So, you know, yeah.
Having said that, I'm looking forward to Need for Speed Rivals, but that's a completely different matter, not involving the film.
It does look good. But yes, so the Need for Speed trailer's there. We'll put it on Facebook. It's kind of playing back there now. But, yeah, I mean, it was kind of interesting that, you know, we've kind of praised Aaron Paul for good acting and stuff, and then he does something like this, and you kind of think, wow, you know, this isn't going to be great. It does look a little bit like a Fast and Furious ripoff, and that's kind of exactly what I thought until I saw this trailer. I was like, okay, it looks kind of like a Fast and Furious ripoff, but there could be something in there. There could be something that drew him to it. That could be the explanation. We'll see. Obviously, if we see any more, we'll talk about it. I don't think it's something we're going to go and see and review on the show. We're probably just going to wait for television. This one I don't know.
Not even Blu-ray.
No, if it comes on Netflix. I'll fucking watch that shit. Anyway, so the other news is that a concept trailer for the new Godzilla movie, which we did mention 3 or 4 episodes ago, concept trailer leaked online. Not the trailer that was shown at Comic-Con, but a concept trailer leaked online. Basically, get to see Godzilla, and it looked awesome. And I don't know if we can get away with playing this because a lot of people...
Well, a lot of places you can't really find the footage anymore.
Okay, fuck that shit. We won't play it behind us because we'll probably get the episode taken offline by Warner Brothers. But let's just say, yeah, I mean, we saw the poster a while back. We reported on that. We said, oh, looks pretty cool, you know. It's from the director of he did a movie called Monsters, and that was kind of dog shit. I'm sorry, but everyone fucking thought it was amazing. I watched it and it was shite.
I kind of liked it, but I didn't actually see any monsters in it.
Yeah, there's a little bit in there, but you don't really see a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I think mostly I spent the movie picking the fucking plot apart completely and just seeing all the plot holes and stuff. Anyway, it looks cool. You know, the concept. It is a concept trailer, and we've yet to see the full-on Comic-Con trailer that has all the characters in it, and then Bryan Cranston and everything.
I think the
dude from Kick-Ass is in it.
Yeah, Aaron Taylor.
I don't fucking know. That guy. Johnson. The British guy who sounds Taylor Swift. Aaron Taylor Swift is in it. And, yeah, so.
Yeah, I think that's coming out November 3rd. The
official
trailer.
Well, we'll be right on that shit as soon as that comes out. That will be playing when we actually get the report on the final trailer.
My thoughts on the concept thing is they got it tonally right. It kind of matches up with the 1954 Godzilla original, which was more of a horror / kind of, I want to say fable, It's kind of like a
The one with
it's-
Raymond Burr in it, depending on which version you actually watch.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it doesn't look like your typical. It's a monster destroying the city. It looks kind of like
It could
it's
be
got
badass.
depth.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah.
It could be pretty cool. So yeah, like I said, just a concept trailer. It doesn't really give us anything to really go on, but like I said, tonally, you know where they're going, so that's good, and it seems to be on the right track, and that's all we need to know for now. And like I said, early November, we should have the full trailer that was shown at Comic-Con, and we'll be talking about it when we get it. So that's very much movies right there. So when we're back in a minute, talking about TV shows. So in TV shows, we're talking about S.H.I.E.L.D. getting picked up for an extra 9 episodes. I'm guessing it was going to be about 13 episodes. Now it's 22.
Yeah.
We reported on how much we loved the pilot, the last episode.
We've now watched three
episodes, 3 before by the time this goes out, I would have thought. I fucking love the show so far. It's such a perfect blend of like cheese and action and nods and kind of references.
What Joss Whedon does best.
It's spot on. So yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad this is getting an extended series because 13 episodes, I mean, would be like quite a big way through. There'd only be 10 left. So now we've got like over freaking 19 more episodes or whatever. That's amazing. I'm glad it's got a full season. And I'm sure it'll get picked up for a second season. The way it's going, provided they don't fucking fuck this up, which I can't see really happening at this point. Every episode that we get seems to be just that bit better than the last, and if they can carry on, I think this is going to be amazing. I love it a bit so far. So, I mean, I'm guessing your opinion of the show hasn't changed?
No, it's awesome.
It is good.
Episode 3, I actually thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm one of those people who, when certain characters are named, if they're in the comics, I kind of like, ooh, that's such and such. So I kind of knew where it was going. It was an interesting little twist on it.
Yeah.
The guy who played not the villain of the piece, but the bad guy in charge. I can't remember what his name is. Quinn or something.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Michelle was looking forward. She heard that he was going to be in it. She was looking forward to that. She's a big fan of Ghost Whisperer, and I don't think she's going to enjoy it so much because he's a bad guy.
Oh.
But
Pretty fucking cool show. Glad it's been extended. I can see why fans have just flocked to it and be like, yes, give us more. So awesome. It's pretty much like it's one of the most viewed shows in the UK at the moment. But yeah. So other news. What else have we got?
Some episodes or some storylines that were thought lost from the 1960 Doctor Who show.
Yeah.
Some of the originals, like Patrick Troughton. I mean, they've turned up in Nigeria of all places.
And on iTunes.
And iTunes. Well, I think they were found in Nigeria first.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, I found those episodes. They're on iTunes. That's not how. But
the Nigerian iTunes is just.
I mean, it's one of these things. Everybody's talked about Doctor Who, and
there's always been the thing of the lost episodes.
Yeah, there's so many of them done, but yeah, they've turned up. So
weren't there versions like you could download, but they were like shitty VHS like recordings and stuff?
Yeah.
Sure they've been available, but in some illegal way, but like kind of like really dodgy looking versions of them.
Some of that, but these ones I think particularly were actually lost.
Oh, okay.
So that's cool. Because a lot of people, especially Americans, have sort of become huge Doctor Who fans based on like the current run. A lot of them are actually revisiting.
Yeah. Well, it's good. It's good because obviously it's the full thing, and like you kind of. It's a bit of a shame to have like that little chunk of like, chunk of the show missing really, and now it's back. Yeah, And it's good because they can charge money for it and make some money. Cause that's what they're doing right now, charging for money. So that's all good. iTunes, is it the only place you can get it at the moment?
For now, I think.
Really? God damn. Okay,
I imagine there probably will be a DVD release.
Yeah, so. That's pretty amazing. It's pretty cool. I mean, they've been remastered and all that kind of shit. So, it's on our UK iTunes. I'm presuming it'll be on the US. It'll be pretty much on every iTunes now, possibly Nigerian iTunes as well. So that's kind of it. That's kind of the news. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wrapping things up pretty quick. Back in a mo with tech. We've got one story to talk about, and it's just kind of interesting that it was on the cards such a long time ago, kind of rumours and stuff.
The Steam box.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know if we've mentioned it on this podcast. We might have even mentioned it on a previous podcast that we've done way back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, rumours of Steam, of Valve making an actual console for the home. It's kind of been announced, I guess. Kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
A week or so ago, what's it called? Has it even got a name yet?
I think they're calling it Steam Machine.
Steambox is better.
Steambox is better, but I think Steambox, Xbox, Steam
It is,
Machine.
yeah, true.
It's going to come.
Cool.
It's got its own OS and hardware, and we've seen pictures of the controller, which I don't quite
controller
understand.
looks fucking cool in my opinion. I like it.
Yeah, but I don't know how it works.
They did put a video up on YouTube a day or two ago with somebody playing something. I forget what it was now, and showing you how to use it and stuff. So, yeah, it looks kind of cool and interesting, you know. But like I said, the rumours have been about for a while. So yeah, we've had the OnLive thing, which basically streamed gameplay and stuff into your living room, and it's kind of cool. You didn't really need to like download a game to it.
No.
You pay for it, and it kind of streams and that. Kind of interesting. That kind of was short lived. It kind of fizzled out. I kind of liked that. I thought it was alright.
I mean, see, that's now gone on to like the new next gen consoles. They'll have like you pay for it and it streams as you
Yeah.
play.
So you know, whether or not there's a place for the Steam machine, you know, from Valve, you know, it's cool because you get the whole Steam catalog and stuff, and they do some pretty cool deals. And it's basically like it's basically going to be a small PC that runs, you know,
which is pretty much what next gen consoles are anyway. But people have been clamouring for this, and PC elitists, I think, will be bigging this up. They hate consoles in general, but they're going to love this.
Here's the thing. Here's the time for them to be. Not so much exactly the time to bring it up, because obviously we're on the cusp of next gen. I know this is kind of this is the tech segment. We're talking about piece of technology, even though it is related to video games. We kind of did that last episode with the PS4.
We do it with most tech, to be honest.
But basically, you know, it's interesting. We're getting next gen. We're getting the PS4 and the Xbox One, and you know, people will be rushing out to buy them. But if this thing comes out, if the Steambox machine thing comes out, you call it Steambox, the Steam machine comes out, and it's say no, £200 or something, yeah, and you get like a download code for like a really cool game. I can guarantee. I can halfway free. I can guarantee. Yeah, people will. Yeah, amazing. People will actually say, "Fuck this! I'm going to buy this," because you know, if this is a kind of, I mean, it probably won't be as powerful, but you know, we're going to be getting games like Watch Dogs and things like that will be available on Steam.
Some specs have been leaked. I haven't got them at hand.
It needs to be kind of as on par as it can be at the price that it needs to be at for it to succeed. If it can come out kind of a little bit after the next gen rush has hit, and you know, kind of maybe next year, like when we'll see some price drops on the PS4 and the Xbox One, maybe if we're lucky. But if it can still come out at a fucking lower price point, a really lower price point, and have this massive catalogue of games that you can buy for it at a decent price, I can see a lot of people flocking to it, and I can see it having a good chance against the big boys. I don't know. You know, I don't know whether that's going to happen or not, obviously, but like it'd be interesting to see them do this and have put this out as cheap as they possibly can, just to kind of really get people's attention and be like, yes, you can buy an Xbox One, or yes, you can buy a PS4, but this is that much cheaper and it plays pretty much the same games. That would be amazing. You know, I'd probably consider that over an Xbox One or PS4 if I can guarantee. You know, obviously there's going to be exclusive to Xbox One and PS4, but you know, if the majority of the good sort of AAA multi-platform titles are available for it, then hell yeah, I'd be up for that. The controller's nice.
So that I think there are several companies working on prototypes for it, and working on different versions. I'm not sure. It might have like a dedicated hardware spec, but you might be able to buy the actual console from different places. It's kind of the OS, I think, was the big thing they were touting about.
Yeah. Well, obviously it's still early days and we don't know. Yeah. They're giving us little tidbits of information as and when they feel
obviously, when it was announced, you had lots of reporters and journalists going to Microsoft and Sony and getting their thoughts, and all they'd say on it is, we'll be keeping an eye on it. Yeah. Which, if I was them,
I would, because there's a chance that they could really screw Microsoft and Sony over, which wouldn't be a bad thing. It'd be good to kind of have a, you know, okay, there's Nintendo, but like it'd be good to kind of have this third player. I don't know if we could consider this a next gen thing. It's current/next gen. It's kind of right in the middle.
I mean, if it plays games that are coming out for PC over the next few years, then that would be amazing.
Yeah.
But you see, at the same time, it can then play all the old games, all past gen. So it has that whole.
It has an
backwards
advantage. Yeah, it has an
compatibility.
advantage over over the Xbox One and PS4 there, which is pretty cool.
And the controller looks nice.
And the controller looks nice. If this can come out around £200, I might actually buy one.
Yeah.
And if it can guarantee, all the good stuff, there's going to be, future proof and all that kind of stuff, and I'd be up for that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want an Xbox One or whatever, but like, if they could deliver this for like half the price, hell yeah, that's amazing. Because there's so many really good games already on Steam that are like discount, and they have sales every so often and stuff.
Yeah.
And if they can kind of maintain that on this platform, forget about it. So much. Anyway, so that's pretty much this show. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to us on YouTube or on iTunes or wherever the hell you watch us from. Please head over to forallnetworks.com. Check out the other shows that we do, and some more of those coming next year. We're on the kind of home stretch now. We're getting a few more episodes, and we're kind of leading up to our live end of season finale, which is going to be fucking crazy. I mentioned before, it's on the 24th of November, I do believe, is when we're going to be doing that. On the Sunday, around 3 p.m. UK time. We'll put up a post and maybe talk about in the next episode roughly the times and stuff in other areas. And talking about the next episode, it's going to be a Halloween special, so please join us for that in 2 weeks' time. And on Halloween, I also mentioned that it's going to be out a day early. And thank you very much, and goodbye.
Goodbye. And the controller looks nice.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did a South African accent for Nigeria, because I don't talk like that there.
Okay.
Freaking prom.
Oh god.
I don't know where that came from. I didn't even know I could do a South
Yeah.
African accent. Add that to the CV.
We're recording that,
this,
so that
isn't it?
goes on the end of the episode. Amazing.